this is the story of my toughest jiu-jitsu loss. And it's not necessarily what you'd think. It wasn't a major tournament like Worlds or Pans, and it's not a story of competing after some major traumatic life event happened. In fact, it was a small IBJJF Open a few months ago in Santa Cruz, and I did it to myself. This tournament came after I'd already competed at 38 tournaments at Blue Belt. So naturally I thought I was a seasoned competitor and could handle anything. But something was different this time. Since for a year I'd already been traveling the world competing by myself, I never had a team or any coaches with me. So my mental game didn't necessarily involve having to consider other people around me that I cared about. Well, this time in Santa Cruz, it was local to my gym, so of course my team and my coaches were there. And this should have been a good thing, right? The support, the applause, actually having a coach. But in the bullpen, I let this make me want to win really bad. Wanting to win in and of itself is just a neutral thing, and we assign our own judgments to it. But you can definitely go overboard emotionally with it, and this can have negative consequences. I wanted to win to the point where I was hyping myself up in my head, getting angry at my opponents, not out loud of course, and trying to conjure up the will to dominate. And this pushed me to the edge. I had injured my thumb really bad in my gi division and was eliminated in the first round. And so the same day when my no-gi division came around, I was willing everything inside of me to win. I won one no-gi match, but when I didn't win the second one, it caused me to break. I tried to hide it, but I actually cried by the bleachers afterwards. I think many things compounded into this. It wasn't just losing in isolation. I mean, I'd been competing so much over the last year that jiu-jitsu was basically my life at this point, even at blue belt. But what I learned about myself is that getting overly emotional beforehand can be self-destructive, and that there is such a thing as wanting to win too much. In most of my competitions before that and since then, I don't try to conjure up any sort of emotional state in order to perform. Instead, I'm just mindful of how I feel, but that's separate from my performance. I perform best when my body is warm and my mind is focused. Not too calm, not too hyped. John Danaher has a sort of phrase for this. It goes, warm body, cold heart. And I like to keep that in mind when I feel myself going too far one way or the other. This tournament was a good reminder for me, and that's why